TV.
Content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes, to renting versus selling, and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live. 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi everyone, welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Every week we talk about something to help you make a little money, save a little money, or maybe just help you navigate this crazy world that we live in. And oh my goodness, is it crazy, as I say every week, that it is a crazy world and things just keep changing, and I know people are worried about how their kids are going to survive and what's going to go on, but I have some good news for you today. Today we have Christian, and I'm going to see if I can say this right, DiFebo.
That's good.
That's good, okay, good. With We Insure. He is an insurance agent, so he owns his own insurance company, and he is signed up with lots of different carriers, which I always tell people that it's important to get with an insurance agent that writes with multiple carriers. That's how you get your best deal. Welcome, Christian. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I always tell people, I have customers, and of course, I would never want anybody to pull my customers away from me. But I feel like as an agent, I can pretty much do anything any other agent can do. But as a captive agent for what you do, I feel sometimes people are committed to their insurance agent, but sometimes it is probably beneficial for them to call another insurance agent to see if maybe they have a different carrier.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're working with somebody who has real good market access, especially here in Florida. The insurance market has been so tight the last few years, and we've been plagued with crazy rates. And think about it, if you're working with an agent that's very limited, has only 3, 4, 5 carriers to work with, the chances of finding savings are very small. So the more options you have, the higher likeliness of finding savings.
So what would be the standard number of carriers that somebody would typically have to shop with?
It really depends. So if you're going to a captive agency, like you can call like an Allstate, State Farm office, all they can sell is that one product, right? That one carrier. If you call a broker, somebody that's been in the business a while is probably appointed with well over 25 or 30 different carriers that are doing property insurance in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that a lot of people will have carriers, and then carriers will stop writing, and then they'll come back. Like, how common is that?
It's pretty common when we see it high claim activity season. So around hurricane season. But we've had some mild seasons the last few years, and that's the reason why we haven't seen so many companies shut down.
Don't jinx us.
The market has really softened up. Last 2-3 years have been really tough for us. We're seeing super high insurance rates. But with lower claim activity and lower reinsurance costs for the insurance companies, so reinsurance is insurance that the insurance companies have to purchase. Right, so higher claim activity means more reinsurance cost for the insurance companies, and they pass that down to the consumer.
Okay.
Lower claim activity, lower reinsurance cost, lower insurance costs for us, and that's what we're seeing now. So the market's done a complete 180 compared to where we were, 2-3 years ago. Well, we were used to seeing renewals come in and 20, 30, 40, 50% increases year over year, which is it's incredible. That's crazy high.
Right.
And now we're actually seeing renewals come in lower than what they were the previous year. So the chances of somebody finding a better deal for home insurance now is a lot higher than it was the last few years.
Okay. Any recommendations when somebody's going to start shopping for insurance? Like, obviously I would always say you're going to need a new 4-point if your house is over 10 years now, right?
Yeah. Well, So most carriers, they want a 4-point inspection if the home is over 20 years old. That 4-point inspection typically has to be no more than 12 months old. You'll need a wind mitigation for your wind mit credits, which is looking at the age of the roof, the wraps that they use, the type of nails that's holding it together, and whether you have opening protection, which is your shutters and your impact windows. The wind mitigation is good for 5 years, however. What I'm seeing a lot now is that companies are waiving that 4-point inspection requirement, and they're coming out and they're inspecting the property themselves. So you can get away with just a wind mitigation inspection if you have one done within the last 5 years. We'll write the policy, and typically the carrier will come out and inspect themselves probably 15 to 30 days after binding that policy.
Well, I hear a lot of things going on. I call it misinformation or fabrications. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, I had an agent say to me, oh, any roofs over 20 years, absolutely not going to get any insurance whatsoever. You're going to be dropped. It is mass hysteria. Cows are flying in the air. So tell me, is this true?
No, that's big time misinformation. I would say it's actually the complete opposite. We're having luck placing homes with older roofs now. And that's because insurance companies have gone smart and they adapted. Typically, a roof is supposed to be covered at replacement cost. That means if your roof is damaged and you file a claim, they're going to pay for a new roof no matter what it costs. If you have an older roof, let's say a 20-year shingle roof, they'll still insure you, but at actual cash value. That means they're going to depreciate the cost of that roof. So if you have a 20-year-old shingle roof, hurricane blows it off, and you have actual cash value.
It's got to be negative money on that one.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll give you half the cost of what it would cost to replace, and then you'll have to pitch in the remaining half to cover that roof replacement. So the options are there. Obviously, there's a coverage gap. You're not getting as good as coverage that you would be if it's a newer roof, but it definitely can be done. As long as the roof is watertight, no leaks, no cracked or missing tiles, or no missing shingles, no granular loss, we can still get it done.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like 20 years. Now, tell me about the price difference, right? So if I have a brand new shingle roof versus a 20-year, now I know you said they're going to depreciate the 20. Will I be able to find cheaper insurance and then still get full coverage, like full replacement cost?
With a newer roof?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And lower price?
Absolutely, yeah. So you're looking at...
So why is the price, though? I guess that's my question, right? Because a new roof's going to blow off just as easy as an old roof. To me, that's common sense, right? I mean, it's unless the tiles are loose, right? Or
yeah, you have to look at not the roofing structure itself, but the roof coating, right? So the tiles and the shingles, after time, they deteriorate, they break down. They're easier to lift up and fly off in the event of a storm. So that's really what they're looking at. The core and the roof deck, it's all lumber. It's all going to be nailed down. Really, it's the roof covering that we're talking about here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a trick question for you.
Talk to me.
Yeah, let's try. So I have a listing coming up.
Okay.
This listing has not a tile roof,
okay,
but a concrete tile roof. I mean, it is like Fort Knox.
Okay.
Right? It is from 1956.
Okay.
Is that insurable?
It is insurable as long as it's in good condition. We're probably going to be limited to just Citizens insurance, but it can be done. So Citizens is the state-provided insurance company, right? It's the insurer of last resort. You're supposed to go to them if you can't find coverage anywhere else. They're a little flexible. They'll take a roof no matter how old it is, as long as it's in good condition. The only thing is when we go to submit that policy, it's going to flag in the system and it's going to require a manual underwriting review. So they're going to go through that inspection, look at the photos, make sure that it's in good shape. Doesn't matter if it's 50 years old or 100 years old, they'll still take it as long as it's in good condition.
So interesting. I had a shingle roof on a property that I owned. Recently, I got a letter from Citizens telling me that they were dropping me. When I was trying to shop around for insurance, before I met you,
yeah,
and I was shopping around for insurance, the insurance agent said, oh, if you get a new roof, your insurance will be half the price, right? But in the interim, while I was trying to figure out how I could get it cheaper, I got a letter from Citizens telling me that they were dropping me due to the age of my roof, which was only 20-year-old shingle roof.
Yeah.
no leaks. It was in perfect condition. I feel sad ripping off something that's good.
Yeah, so what you could have done in that instance is re-inspected the roof, and as long as you can show another 5 years of remaining life on it, you could present that to citizens, request a reinstatement, and as long as the pictures coincide with what the report's saying, they'll renew the policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I call that manipulating the system in a sense, but because people are always saying you're going to get dropped, and I say as long as you can keep proving it's in good shape, they just want to see that. Yeah, it still will last another 5.
Yeah.
It will still last another 5.
Yeah, because what happens is when we bind this policy with citizens, and let's say our report says there's 5 years of life remaining, the first policy year goes by, and in the back their system's already tracking it, so they know it's down to 4, which doesn't meet their guidelines. It's automatically going to generate that non-renewal letter for you. Once you get that in the mail, call your inspector and re-inspect. See if they can give you another 5 years, and if they can, you can present that to your agent, and then they'll go ahead and usually lift that non-renewal and offer you a renewal for the policy.
So if you're having issues with getting insurance and you get these letters and you feel like your insurance agent's not helping you, what is a good number or a good way for everyone to reach out to you to maybe switch over to you?
Call the office. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm always there. You're always going to be dealing with me. It's not a call center. The number is 561-288-1645. We're in Boca Raton. You guys can come in if you want, or we can do everything virtually over the phone. We make the process super simple, and the staff is very well trained, so we'll all take good care of you, definitely.
Say that number one more time for them.
561-288-1645.
Great. So we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, I want to talk about a very taboo subject.
Okay.
Polybutylene pipes.
Okay.
Can we or can we not get insurance with polybutylene pipes? Let's talk about what is the misnomer on that.
Okay.
So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after you check out our sponsors.
At JK Closing Attorneys, we do all of the same things that a title company does, but with the benefits of being a law office. We can help with residential real estate, short sales, commercial real estate, refinances, 1031 exchanges, and FRIPTA withholding.
Contact JK Closing Attorneys today at 954-332-3111. Again, that is 954-332-3111.
Priority One Credit Union of Florida is a welcoming credit union that makes your financial success our #1 priority. We offer lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and common sense local loan approvals, with nationwide access through shared branching.
Hi, I'm Dina Hennessy, President and CEO at Priority One Credit Union. We are open to the community. Anyone can be a member of our credit union, and we would love to have you.
Contact us today at 954-335-5100. You can also reach us at PriorityOneFL.org. Your financial success is our priority. That's 954-335-5100.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at theloracell.com. And now back to the show.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Today, I'm trying to help you make some money by saving some money. Even sometimes when my clients are selling their homes, I tell them, let's get you new insurance because they're overpaying, and if we're in like a 3-4 month cycle selling their home, it actually helps, and a lot of times it's cheaper right now than what they're already paying. So
sure.
I don't know, if I saved $1,000, I don't know about you, but that means a lot to me.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing significant savings too. So it's not just a few $100 here and there. I mean, sometimes we're able to slash the price in half.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, we're seeing significant savings without compromising coverage, keeping deductibles the same, keeping all the coverages that they need, and not watering it down.
All right.
Yes.
And if you have an older roof, should you be scared that you're bringing it back out again to like?
No, as long as it's a good condition. You know, the market is so competitive right now between the insurance companies. They're all fighting for business, so they're all extending their guidelines, and we're being able to request exceptions more and more, where maybe this roof might be a year or two older than they normally take, but I can pick up the phone call, speak to an underwriter, and say, hey, this is a really good client. They have this property that they're purchasing. The roof's just a little bit out of your guidelines. What can you do for me? And we're getting those exceptions approved a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So one of the things that a lot of people, I have to say, like, I've been a realtor for a very long time. And I think that a lot of agents are inexperienced, and, you know, a house will come up with polybutylene and they'll be like, nope, not insurable, not insurable.
Please enter conference ID
so
and then
tell us your thoughts on it. Like, I know they're not good pipes, but
Correct. Yeah.
they don't leak in everybody's house.
Yeah. So poly pipes, for those that aren't aware, it's this gray plastic pipe that was used frequently in the early 90s. They stopped using it around 96 because it's known to fail. When you run water through that type of plumbing, the pipe expands and then contracts again, and over time it fails. It's not impossible to insure a home with poly pipes, but it is a little difficult. If you have poly pipes, you're limited to probably 3 or 4 different carriers.
That's actually pretty good, I think. I don't think it's so limited.
Okay. But the big catch is, the caveat is, those carriers are not going to offer water damage coverage on those policies.
But I thought that most coverages, and correct me if I'm wrong, and again, everything keeps changing in the
Yep.
insurance world, that's why you're here, that most carriers don't provide water coverage, or it's very limited, maybe $10,000.
So we were seeing that for the last few years. Carriers were capping the water damage.
That's why you're here, because
Yep.
things keep changing.
Correct, yeah. They were limiting water damage coverage to about $10,000, like you said. But I'm seeing more and more that carriers are now offering the option to do full water damage coverage. So, but you're not going to have that option with poly pipes, unfortunately.
And I get that, because it could break, things could happen, right?
Correct, yeah.
But
if you're in a situation where your client's purchasing a home, you know, and this can make or break a deal, right, because of the insurance contingency, we can get you closed, we can get you insurance. You're not going to have water damage coverage, but, you know, we can revisit it. If you guys decide to replumb or repipe the house, we can obviously get you full water damage coverage policy.
maybe
in
even
the
lower
future.
price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a referral for you. Jordan has one with poly pipes being purchased right now. So
Okay, cool.
Another one.
Gotcha.
So I guess with that being said, it's good to know that there's options out there.
Yes.
So I think that agents need to be very careful on what you're telling people. I don't think that all insurance agents are created equal. I don't think that they all know the same things. So definitely give Christian a call.
Yes, I appreciate
feel like
it.
he can definitely help you with that. So, so what are you seeing? Like, give me an example of like a policy that you just rewrote, that you originally wrote and you rewrote again within the last 2 to 3 years. Like, what's the difference in the cost?
So this is a new client that came into the agency. His renewal came in. I'm not going to mention any carrier names right now. I don't want nobody to get
don't do
upset.
that. We don't want to get anybody sued.
But their renewal came in at $7,500. Beautiful home in Parkland, 3,000 square foot home, newer construction, newer roof on there. And I saw that premium and I knew right off rip that that's a very aggressive pricing, especially for the type of property that he had. He had a newer roof, he had full impact windows, impact rated garage door and entry doors. There's no reason why he should have been paying that much. Coverage A, or the dwelling coverage on that policy, was around $850,000. But the amount of money that they were trying to charge him was still very high. We shopped it out. We sent it to 17 or 18 different carriers.
Oh, goodness.
And almost all of them came back less than the renewal offer that he was getting.
But it's got to be significant, right?
Yeah.
To make the change.
Yeah, so we were able to get him a policy for $3,800.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so from $7,500 to $3,800. And the good thing is that that big difference is going to impact his mortgage payment, right?
Oh yeah, divide that by 12.
Exactly. So he'll call his lender and he'll say, hey, I have a lower cost insurance premium now. Can we do an escrow analysis? They'll look at the taxes and what his new insurance cost is, and then they'll adjust his
Yeah, so it's
monthly.
like $300 and something less a month.
Exactly. So imagine putting $300 away in an investment account or
I'd like
just
to
in
say
your
a
pocket.
car payment, but I don't think so.
Yeah, so, you know, the opportunities out there, what I like to tell people is that you don't know if you're overpaying unless you shop it out, right? So reach out to your agent, see if they can take a look and listen to what they have to say. They should be able to navigate the market for you and point you in the right direction, because the opportunities for savings are definitely out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Absolutely,
Definitely sounds like
100%, yeah.
So one of the things that I do as an agent is I'm always making sure that I'm connecting my clients to somebody that can actually help you. So if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, and I can't even tell you how many listings that I'm talking to you about because there's issues and buyers are trying to back out, and I'm saving the deal by connecting to make sure that they can get insurance.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference, and understanding and asking questions. Like, there's so many different parts of the whole thing that go together to make this happen.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for that realtor, my name's Laura Sanders with RE/MAX Direct. You can always reach me at 954-650-0827. Again, that's 954-650-0827, or you can catch me on the web at lauracell.com. And every week we're here on the radio talking about something that can help you. It's not always real estate, but I do try to kind of bring it all together. But this to me is, you should definitely give Christian a call. I feel like you don't know if you're leaving money on the table. So calling him costs you nothing to, just email him over your 4-point and WinMit. It can be last year's 4-point. You don't need a new one right off the bat. He'll let you know, does it make sense for you to get a new one before doing that? So I just want to bring that out. And,
Yeah, I mean, feel free to reach out. I'm happy just to provide advice and guidance. Even if I'm not selling a policy, I don't mind helping somebody out.
But he'd like to sell a policy.
Absolutely, obviously. But yeah, like I said, the market's changed. It's done a complete 180 compared to where we were a few years ago. So if you own a property and you're paying for property insurance, shop it out. You're leaving money on the table. If you're not, trust me, you're going to be happy that you did.
I do have another question, because I know we're running out of time, but one of the things that I'm kind of curious about that I used to hear about, but I haven't heard about this in a while, it was, if you have investment properties, there's a way to do one big policy for all the properties in it. Is this true, or is that like old school?
There is a way. We don't like doing that typically, because you're using a commercial carrier at that point. They want the policies to be under an LLC. So a lot of people have to go do a quick claim deed and switch it over to an LLC. It's a lot of work, and you're not really seeing a big savings.
Can it be one LLC for each, the same LLC for all the properties?
Yeah, you could do that.
Right, but you're saying there's really not a savings.
Yeah.
It could even be more expensive, right?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that for liability purposes. We're doing like a blanket liability policy for an investor that has many properties, because they're worried about the risk of being sued.
Well, isn't that more of like a umbrella policy?
Similar, yeah. An umbrella is going to extend not only to your property, but also to your auto insurance and any other liability you carry. So it's a little bit different, but you could do a blanket liability policy if you have multiple properties, absolutely.
Okay, so it's more if somebody gets hurt on a property or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Okay. But what do you suggest?
I like to attack it from a one-by-one basis, so look at each risk individually. It's a little bit more work on our end, but we can typically see higher savings for the clients doing it that route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because every roof is different on each house, everything is,
Exactly.
and it's just not all the same.
Correct, yeah.
Because you
might
would have like 12 water heaters in one policy, and now one water heater is old, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, or like you have half the houses have brand new roofs, the other half have very old roofs. So the insurance company isn't going to do replacement cost on half and then actual cash value on the other half. They'll just do actual cash value on all of them. So it's probably better to break it up. realistically.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I know years ago people used to recommend that, and I hadn't heard it lately.
Yeah,
so I
it's
figured,
not too common.
Yeah, let me just ask. So, again, why don't you tell our audience what is a good way to get a hold of you? And
yeah, so call the office. I'm always there. You're going to be speaking to us. It's not a call center. It's not AI. You'll speak to me or my assistant. We're very responsive, and we're happy to help. And if I can give anybody tips on what the biggest things that'll help you save on insurance is, number one, the age of the roof. That's the biggest thing that the carriers are going to look at, how old your roof is. The second thing is shutters or impact windows. And you can mix and match. So if you want to do impact windows in the front of the house and just slap up aluminum shutters on the sides and even on the garage and front door, you'll still get the credit. Those two are the big things that are going to drive the premium. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. Just keep the home in good condition. Keep in mind that the carrier is going to come out and re-inspect. So whenever you buy a new policy, they're typically going to send their own inspector out to do due diligence, just make sure everything's in good condition. And if everything's in order, you should be in good shape.
okay. And one last question before we end it.
Yes.
In the past, I've been told that insurance companies could ask you to provide proof that you've sealed your windows. Is this true?
I haven't seen that.
But I've heard it. Have you heard? I've had that told to me in an inspection.
So I've seen where claims have been denied because of water intrusion. You got to be careful. Some policies won't cover wind-driven rain, where that's going to
on an angle.
Exactly, yeah. But I've never seen them specifically ask for proof that the windows have been resealed. 'Cause that's part of their due diligence process when they come out and re-inspect. So once we do the policy, the insurance company sends out their own inspector. That's what they're looking for. They're looking at all the little nooks and crannies, make sure everything's nice and watertight and buttoned up.
So the house I went to yesterday that had a like a wasp's nest inside the house, that's probably no good, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, like always, thank you so much for listening and watching the streaming of Making Money with Laura Sanders. Again, if you're looking for a top agent, give me a call, Laura Sanders, Remax Direct at 954-650-0827, or find me on the web at laurasell.com. And like always, make it a great one, because it's a great day to buy or sell a home.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. We look forward to seeing you next week.